to help us answer the question that a children would curiously and naturally have. Why do we do this? And why do we do that? And why do we do this? Because kids intuitively want to know why. Whatever traditions you want to have, it's up to you. This is your family. You don't have to do it the way your family did. This is your chance to put your own fingerprint on Christmas for your family and for your children. Okay, I am so excited today to share with you some Advent Christmas favorite resources, some resources to help you keep Christmas about Jesus. If you're a Christian, or if you're really just wanting to point your kids in the direction of like, okay, listen, Christmas is fun. We have lots of cocoa and all the fun traditions, but at the end of the day, Christmas is about Jesus. If you really want to hammer that home, I'm going to share my absolute favorites, a huge stack of different resources for you, just to kind of like pick and choose and kind of see, maybe what would fit your family best in the season that you're in. So hey, my name is Lana. This is Girl Teach Me. This whole channel is to be a resource for you if you are wanting to level up and be a more intentional mama. I have just made so many videos for you, so I hope you'll stay and hit subscribe. And this is a bit random with a Christmas video, but if you happen to be pregnant, one of the other resources I have at Girl Teach Me is I have a birth course, and I have a little free class you can go take to kind of get a taste. It's 5 key decisions that you should consider making if you want to have a better birth. I know we're all moms here, so some of you are pregnant and you're trying to get ready for Christmas. So just wanted to let you know about that resource. Okay, so I think the main thing that I want to hammer in before I get going is it's already a busy season. It's already a lot going. There's Christmas parties and all the things. So I am putting this video out early enough that you can go ahead and prep for Christmas early. Now, if you're watching this in December, that's okay. I still have help for you, lots of help for you. But I do want to say that after this video, consider going to check out the other video that I did that's going to help you have a more peaceful December. I talk about this Christmas notebook and how the system I use to get ready for Christmas early, to have all of my Christmas presents completely ready to go, wrapped by Thanksgiving. If you're watching this past Thanksgiving, take a deep breath. It's going to be fine. You did not have to do that. I'm just doing that because I want to have a more peaceful December and have a little bit more time for these resources. Also, I am pregnant with my 6th baby, and guess what? He or she is due at Christmas. So I'm really having to be on my game this year. So let's jump right into it. Really, the best thing I think about the Advent season. Now, I don't go to a church that follows like a per se church calendar or a liturgy, and I never grew up with that. So like the word Advent was kind of new for me. And so I've had a lot to learn, my point. What has been really sweet about what I have learned is that it's really nice to take this season and be more intentional, turn more inward. And one thing I learned from All Creation Waits, which was a resource that I found out about through Peaceful Press, is that even the animals slow down, they hibernate, they turn in. All of creation waits. It's waiting for Jesus to return. I can't 100% recommend this resource without the Christmas guide that Peaceful Press puts together, because let me show it to you. Peaceful Press has like a Christmas guide, and this is one of the resources they use, but this is not a uniquely Christian resource in my opinion. But Jennifer Pepito, the creator of Peaceful Press, turns this into a Christian resource by adding a devotional to go along with it. So there's a little bit of like a commentary. So in this one, it would be the third one, Advent 3 would be the black bear. And it's kind of cool. Like, actually, I think this is a great resource to do with kids, because they always generally love animals. So you're going to learn some like animal science through this. But then she's going to tie it to after these days, his wife Elizabeth became pregnant, and 5 months remained in seclusion. She declared, "The Lord has done this for me. In these days, he has shown me favor and taken away my disgrace among the people." So Elizabeth almost hibernated a little bit. Like, she spent 5 months in seclusion. So then Jennifer adds this part. Just as the bear secluded herself in order to grow healthy offspring, Elizabeth, who had waited so long, entered a period of seclusion to nurture her child. And so it goes on, and then it gives you activities. So definitely love the Peaceful Press resource, especially if you're looking for something to do. I think this would be a really cool thing to do with your kids during the day. Maybe while dad's at work, maybe to add in some activities. That could be really, really fun. But let's talk about like maybe family worship time at night. If you are not in the rhythm of family worship, start small. Start small. And actually, we do family worship in the morning before my husband starts work. He starts around like 8:30-ish. So we do it at 8 a.m. I know some of you are like, Lana, my husband leaves at 6. Seriously, we can take principles and then just shift them to apply to our family. And so it's not going to be one size all, because none of our families look just the same. But one thing, if you hear that wobbling, that's one of my washing machines. I have 2 washing machines because our family's so big, and one of them, if I put towels in there, it's just going. But we really discovered what rhythms of family worship could look like through trying in the Advent season with a bunch of kids. And I'm going to say we shot a little too high. We had great ideals. We were really trying. But honestly, kids' attention spans, they don't go very far. And so I want to talk to you about a resource I'm going to try out this year. They're called Advent blocks. I don't have them turned the right way. And they're numbered. And then I'll show you a little bit of footage where I had them like lined up right here. But you're going to flip them, and then you're going to read a little tiny devo that goes with each day. So this could be really great if you have tiny children. My neighbor who has a 4 and a 2-year-old, she's the one that introduced me to Advent blocks. So they sent these to me, and I'm going to try these out this year, but she has told me that she absolutely loves them and has loved them. I'm so worked up and excited, guys. I really am. I think that, like, when I think back to school, I loved show and tell the most, and this is what this feels like, a show and tell. But it's very, very short. Like, I want to show you, they show you the right way to set up the Advent blocks. But it's very short and very doable. So, like, you would just read this part. There goes my washing machine again. It's just very, very, very short. So what you could do is you could read part of that. If it points to any scripture verses, you could do this. Or you could just even, honestly, open up the book of Luke. And you could study Luke as a family, and you could read just a little bit every single day. One thing we love to do, follow me, this might all be a little scattered, but I'm going to just throw everything that has worked for us and what we've been learning at you, and hope that you can just pick up the one thing. It just rises to the surface in this video where you're like, yep, that's what I'm doing. That sounds good. How we do family worship in the morning is we start off, either Matt plays a song on his phone through the speaker, or we've been singing Amazing Grace, so I printed out the lyrics. Not all of my kids can read. They don't get all the words right. It doesn't even matter. We just start off, because I think there's something so unifying about singing together and so relaxing about singing together. So let me paint a picture for you of what family Advent or family worship could look like in the evening. What you could do is you could do it around the dinner table. Everybody's already there. But when I'm thinking about to when I had little children, that might have been a bit stressful because dinner was already stressful. So you could get everybody in their PJs, turn the lights low. That's gonna help a ton. You could light a little candle. I'm serious, some beeswax candles, they set the mood. We eat dinner as often as we can, even if it's not a fancy dinner. Like last night, even Matt was out for a meeting and I lit the candles with the kids and it brought me down. Like, it's not even the kids that need to be brought down. Sometimes I need to be brought down. Turning the lights low, lighting the candles, that will signify to the kids, hey, it's time to calm down, and it'll make it feel a bit more special. And then you can play a sweet Christmas hymn. There's so many Christmas songs, but Phil Wickham has a great album with lots of really good Christmas music that's actually about Jesus. You could play the old Christmas carols. Like you could just ask Siri or Alexa or one of them to play like a Christmas carol or a Christmas hymn. I don't know how they would respond to those prompts, but just play something like one song you could sing together, and then you could read a little bit of Luke. The book of Luke is great. It talks about the birth of John and the birth of Jesus. Or you could do the Advent blocks and the kids could take turns, one kid could flip the block for that day. So that's one thing you can do. Now, Paul Tripp has written some really great devotionals. So come let us adore him. If you have kids that are probably like 10 or so, or a little older, I don't know, it just depends on your kid, but these are a bit too heady for like my little kids. This one's called The Everyday Gospel. It's a Christmas devotional. I have not done this one. This was given to me by somebody at church, but I think he took this book called Come Let Us Adore and made it even more succinct. See how short this is? But Paul David Tripp is such a great resource for just solid truth. So this could even be something that you do in your personal quiet time, or you could do the fun stuff, and as kids are in their PJs and they're snuggling, you could print out a coloring sheet that they're doing while you read the more heady stuff to get them to sit still with their wiggles. And I think what just can be so hard is when we shoot for these really high ideals, and then we're just like, toddlers are going to do what toddlers do. So setting them up for success, maybe they can do some like Duplos or something with wooden blocks, or they can do a Christmas coloring sheet while you do the heady stuff that might be just a bit over their head. Another thing is to get some really beautiful Christmas books, some great Christmas resource books, picture books. So one thing I absolutely love about the Peaceful Press is her book recommendations are literally gold. I want to keep adding to my collection. This has been a golden book in my collection. It's called Christmas Day in the Morning. Such a sweet story of genuine love and sacrifice. I almost always cry when I read this one. This one's a really good one, The Christmas Promise. We've enjoyed this one. The Littlest Watchman. And I actually ask for these for birthdays and Christmas gifts from my in-laws so that I can continue to add to my resources. So those are some that I really love. Now, let's say you don't want to do Elf on the Shelf. You don't want to do it. I don't do Elf on the Shelf. And sometimes I think we can try to replace it with the Christian thing, but a friend gave us this years ago. Look, he's like the stuffing's coming out of him. We named him Joey. It's like a little shepherd boy, and there's a book that goes with it. And I forget half the time, but we do it, and then at the very last day, he's by the manger scene. And it's fun because you're still hiding it, which is kind of like Elf on the Shelf, except for we don't give candy or anything. It's just like a funny thing we do in our family. So if you feel like you're really missing out with the Elf on the Shelf, you could do the shepherd, or you could do the other one, whatever you want to do. Let's talk about really helping our hearts tune into the Lord, because really creating that family worship, creating that sense of expectation that we're trying to build for the season of Advent, and really focusing our hearts on Jesus. It's tough in a season where we have a lot of expectations. It feels busy. We've got a lot of parties and things like that. One thing you could do is you could start writing out the word. So I pulled this. This is called a journal. And this is the book of John. I haven't written in this one. I've written in lots of them. But you could do the book of Luke. And my husband started this one. But you can see how it gives you space on one side, right here, to write the whole book of the Bible. So I've probably done about 5. Are you going with Dad? Okay. They're going to the chiropractor. I've probably done 5 or 6 of these, and this has been a really sweet way. I have a blog post I'll link below. Tells you all about journables, but this could be a really sweet practice to pick up in the month of December and even continue, is writing out the book, a whole book of the Bible. So if you wanted to study the book of Luke as a family, write out the book of Luke personally, or go through something like this personally. I think that would be really sweet personal devotion to get your heart and your mind oriented towards the Lord. Let's say you want to do Christmas school, let's say you homeschool or you have preschoolers and you really want to do more like Christmassy stuff, I love this book. It's called Holidays by Wild and Free, and there's so many beautiful, it's not just Christmas, but primarily Christmas. It has a list of like favorite Christmas books, but then also has some really sweet like crafts you can do together. There's my washing machine again. I picked this up at the Wild and Free Homeschool Conference by Brighter Day Press. She is literally delightful. I'm so impressed by, I don't know, it's Whitney. Yes. Her name is Whitney from Brighter Day Press. She was literally precious. She talked to people nonstop at her booth, always had a smile on, just so full of the spirit. I really enjoyed her, but this is really sweet. It's like a watercolor tutorial, so it's on watercolor paper, and then there are videos to go along with it, and there's like, they're not all exclusively Christian, more like winter time and Christmassy, but there is the nativity right here. It tells you what colors to use, step-by-step instructions, and then you can see that on the watercolor paper, it's already printed a nativity scene. So those are just like my top ideas for Advent. There's so many things you can do. There's the Jesse tree. Another thing, I'm gonna put it like a little picture up on the screen because I don't have the book with me, but there's a wonderful book by Noelle Piper that I've always enjoyed, and she talks about intentionally designing all the traditions in our home and all the celebrations in our home to help us answer the question that children would curiously and naturally have. Why do we do this? And why do we do that? And why do we do this? So that we could always try to point to Christ, because kids intuitively want to know why. So when we can get kind of smart and savvy about rearranging the things that we do, the celebrations we do, the traditions that go along with the celebrations to naturally point to Christ, it's just going to be like little seeds dropping in their hearts. And so I really love that resource as well. A mentor let me borrow it. Y'all, I don't think I ever returned it. I think by the time I returned it, she was like, Lana, I already bought a new copy. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm the worst. This is why I don't have a library card, guys. I am the worst at returning library books in a timely and orderly fashion where they're not completely destroyed. So I think my husband has banned me from the library. So now I intentionally try to order books, ask for books for gifts, all the things. Yeah, that's one of my downfalls. So I hope that you can just get inspired that whatever traditions you want to have, it's up to you. This is your family. You don't have to do it the way your family did. This is your chance to put your own fingerprint on Christmas for your family and for your children. In this little resource that I talk about, maybe go watch this video next if you still have some time. In the Christmas notebook, it talks about like family traditions. This is a daily dose, or a Christmas dose of Deb. She's super precious on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram right now, but she has a lot of help on how to get ready for Christmas, and she helps you with all of your planning, like your menu planning for Christmas, your menu planning for Thanksgiving, your grocery list, all the things, stocking stuffers. So maybe if the present side of Christmas is a bit stressful for you, this resource might be a help to you. I'll leave that video, that blog post. There's also a blog post for this video. I have a website, it's called girlteachme.com, and I'm trying to put as many resources as I can over on that website. So when you think like, oh, I wonder about this or that, you don't always have to go watch the video. Like I can just have it all kind of laid out for you in blog form. That's kind of where I'm trying to move, is that we can do YouTube and I can have resources for you on the blog. And you don't want to miss out on my Friday email. I have a Friday email that, praise the Lord, has gone out every single Friday at 5 a.m. for the last 2 years. It's pretty wild. I started at the beginning of 2024 and we have not missed a week, which just is mind-blowing. And it's kind of like I'm doing right now, like sharing my favorites with you, but it's called Ideas for Intentionality. I will leave a link for you down below to go and sign up. If I could talk. For you to go sign up for that email, because I think it can really be a huge resource for you. Every Friday, I'm slipping in your inbox. Well, I'm not slipping in your inbox, like slipping in the DMs. I'm coming through your email sharing what's going on in my life, but also what I'm learning, what books I'm reading, what videos I'm watching, what podcasts I'm listening to that are helping me stay intentional, what my family is enjoying, and just songs we're listening to, like just things that are keeping me intentional. That's the whole point of the email. So I think that could be a cool resource for you. I hope you'll stay and hit subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video.
It's so unnecessary dwelling about the past, 'cause I know that God is good, He led me to where I'm at. Sometimes I feel like giving up, you're giving in, but everything happens for a reason. It won't always be blue skies ahead. Sometimes you might need a helping hand, just like iron sharpens iron, making me stronger, calling me higher. When we come together, just like iron sharpens iron, making us stronger, calling us higher. When we're helping each other, we're growing together.